For this video, we're looking at Roman numerals up to 1000 and beyond. It's assumed here that you will know the Roman numerals up to 100. We're going to start off by looking at Roman numerals up to 399. 100 is C. 200 and 300 follow the same pattern as 2 and 3 and 20 and 30. So 200 is 2 C's and 300 is 3 C's. Then when we want to represent 310, we simply add 10 onto the 300. 311, we'll add another 1 onto 310. So we're using the same pattern as we used for numbers up to 100. 315, that's 310, add 5. 316, that's 310, add 5, add 1. And 319, we have 300, add 10, add 9. And then 320 is 300, add 2 10s. 330 is 300, add 3 10s. And remember, when we get to 40, as with 4, things will change. 340 is 300 and 40 is 10 less than 50. So that's XL. 350 is 300, add L for 50. 360, we just add another 10. For 370, that's 300, add 50, add 20. 380, that's 300, add 50, add 30. 390, remember that 90, as with 9, things change. So we have 300, and 90, if you remember, is 10 less than 100. So we put 10 in front of 100. The same pattern follows until we get to 399, where we just add the 9 onto the 390. With what we've covered so far, you should be able to have a go at working out these numbers. How are they represented by Roman numerals? A good tip here is to work with each place value individually, as if you're partitioning the numbers. Pause the video, have a go. 147. Starting with the 100, which is C. Then we have 40. If you remember, that's 10 less than 50. And then we add on the 7. 299, that's 2 hundreds. 90, which is 10 less than 100. And 9, which is 1 less than 10. 308, 3 hundreds. Nothing in the tens, but we have 8 ones, so we add that on the end. And finally 384, 3 hundreds, 80, which is 50, add 30, and 4, which is 1 less than 5. From the pattern we've looked at so far, you'll probably be able to have a go at this. If D is 500, what do you think 400 is? Here we have multiples of 100 up to 800. 500 is D. 400, you've probably worked out, that's going to be 100 less than 500. So we will have the 500 with this C for 100 before it. 600 will be the other way round. 500 with the 100 after it, because we're adding it on. 700 will be 500 add 200, 800 will be 500 add 300. It all follows the same pattern, so we have 800 add 3 10s, 840, and you can see how the pattern carries on. We get to 890, 891, 892, all the way up to 899, follows the same pattern. So here we have 899. And of course, when we get to 900, things change. But so far, you should have everything you need to be able to have a go at working out which numbers do these Roman numerals represent. Remember with Roman numerals that when you see a numeral, you have to look at the one after it to check whether you need to take it away or whether you're adding on the next one. Pause the video, have a go. First one, we start with 100, but that's followed by a D, which is bigger than 100. So that must be 400. And then the V is just 5. So this is 405. Next one, we have 100 in front of 500. So again, that's 400. Then we have 10, but notice that 10 is followed by a 50. So that must be 40. And finally, 4. That's 444. The third one looks like it might be quite a small number. We have D for 500 and L for 50, and that's 550. It's interesting to note here, just because something has fewer letters or numerals in it doesn't mean that it's a smaller number. 550 is bigger than 444, but it has only 2 numerals in it. Next one, we have 500, and that's followed by a C, so that's 600. Then we have a 10, and then we have 7. That's 617. Next one, we have 500 followed by 2 hundreds, so that's 700. Then we have a 10, but that's followed by a C, so that must be 90. And then we have 8. That's 798. And finally, 500 followed by 300, which is 800. Then there's 50 followed by 30, so that's 80. And then we have 3. 883. We're just going to look at 2 more here, 900 and 1000. 1000 is M. What do you think 900 will be, using the pattern that we followed so far? 900 is 100 less than 1000, so that will be CM. Here's 2 more for you to try. Pause the video, have a go. First one, we have 100 in front of 1000, so that's 900. Then we have 10 in front of 50, so that's 40, and then 5. 945. And the last one, again, we have 100 in front of 1000, that's 900. Then we have 10 in front of 100, that's 90. And then we have 8. 998. You've probably worked out you can actually work out some numbers that are more than 1000 with what you already have. Just have a go at these 2 numbers. They're bigger than 1000. Can you use Roman numerals to represent them? Pause the video, have a go. First one, have 1000, which is M, followed by 100, which is C, followed by a 10, which is X, followed by a 1, which is I. And second one, we have 1000, which is M, no hundreds, no tens, but you do have 9, so that's 1009. And I like that one because it spells the word.